been a little while since you've been on the sideline. How's it feel to be out here today and getting ready for a new season?
It's great. Nice to be on the West Coast again with warm weather. Usually this time of year in the East Coast, you're dealing with snow and below freezing conditions, so this is great.
You've brought in some big name players like Chicho and Josef Martinez, players that have a history in this league, as well as others like Nick Lima and Mark Anthony Kay. Can you talk about some of the philosophy that's gone into that roster building that you've done so far?
Well, clearly, we were looking for some number nines, and I think we've been fortunate to get some of the best ones from the league out of the last 5 years or so. And I think it's a lot easier for players with experience in this league to move on to a new team and make that adjustment. That's the reason we brought in a lot of. I think to date it's 9 new players, counting the draft picks, and I think it's a lot easier for players that have been here domestically to make the adjustment to a new team. So that was part of the strategy with all of that.
Coach, with your leadership and success, what do you hope to infuse into this organization?
Well, we want to build a winning team. Get back to that at San Jose. Traditionally, if you go back to the start of the league, they've been one of the more successful teams in MLS in the early going. And there's no reason to believe that we can't build a team back into that kind of position. The immediate goal this year is to be a better team than we were in 2024, and I think we can accomplish that for sure.
Are there areas that you think you need to address right away in order to start building those blocks?
Well, we addressed that to date. I think we needed to improve in the number 9 position. I think defensively we've got to get better. We've got to keep the team healthier than they were last year, and it's early. It's 3 days of preseason. We don't know. We have a lot of work ahead of us before the first game. And generally in our league, you go through the first half of the season still trying to get an identity and try to figure out where you are, and so it's going to take a little time. I don't have any answers to all of that right now.
How about in terms of the game? How has it evolved over the last few years, and how have you evolved as a coach?
Well, like in any sport today, with the advancements in sports performance and everything else, the athletes are fitter, they're stronger, they're faster. It doesn't mean that they're better soccer players, but it's a faster game in MLS right now. If you see the top team in the league, in the world, the English Premier League, the pace of those games is tremendous. Our league is getting better at that end as well, and with 30 teams, it's getting very competitive. 15 teams now in each conference, and it's a real fight from game 1 to game 34.
But so much obviously on the line with you trying to revitalize the program, but then also bringing in new guys, trying to change things around here. How well have you kind of settled in with the guys as well as the newer guys? How has everybody kind of?
Well, I've only literally been here for 10 days. And it's going to take us a little time, but I think we'll make progress. I like what I've seen in the early going, but again, I think we need to be a little bit patient. We don't have all of the answers at this point, but hopefully, as we continue in preseason, we'll get a better feel for the group and be able to field a more competitive team on February 22nd when we play Real Salt Lake.
You mentioned how you like, bringing in players with strong track records in this league. How do you, what is your philosophy just holistically as far as bringing in academy guys, bringing in MLS guys and international? How do you sort through all of that picture together?
I don't think you have a real answer to that. Most of these players are new to me, and including the players that have come out of the academy. So it's going to take a little time to figure all of that out. But we'd like to have a situation where we have a strong academy program up to the second team, to the first team, and we can develop our own homegrown players as well. And I think the Earthquakes have had some success in that area, and hopefully we can continue to build on that.
Yeah, and then internationally, how do you approach that, balanced with trying to get guys?
Well, you're allowed 8 international players if you have those spots, and we obviously we need to improve our scouting and find players with the right mix. There's a big difference when you're at the LA Galaxy or into Miami or LAFC, they can attract a more high-profile player. We want to get there one day as well, but you got to understand where you're at a certain time and the kind of players you can attract and the kind of players you need. And it's never easy. It's a challenge each and every year.
One of the mechanisms to bring in players that maybe have high potential is the under-22 signing. So far, the team doesn't have anyone under that designation.
Right, and believe me, that's not a home run either. There's the percentage of teams being successful in the U22 is not great at this time, but yes, it is a good mechanism. We need at this point in time to strengthen our senior roster so we can be more competitive, and obviously we'll continue to look to pursue a U22 player, but that is not a priority at this point.
Kind of related with the addition of Chicho, that's 4 DPs on the roster, at least according to last year's standards.
Right.
How is do you have plans to address that? I know there's still.
We do have plans to address it.
Anything you can share about that?
No.
Okay.
Anything else? Last one?
Yeah. So you mentioned being here just for the 10 days. Obviously, you brought the great weather with you, which we're pretty happy about as well. What have you been most optimistic about in seeing the group and seeing them out there playing, running, getting ready for this?
Well, I think they're not aware of what happened in 2024. It's a new year, and they're moving forward. So I think that's a real positive. And they've had a good attitude. The organization has been pretty good in supporting us and the things we need. We're working on improving the facilities. As you can see, this is a new training field here that looks good. Working on the game field, where we're making plans to improve the everyday environment with the dining hall and the team meeting room in the near future. So, everyone's doing their best to get it better.